I'd like to introduce this year's distinguished speaker here, Mr. Vance Roush.
Woo! Good job, Vance.
One nomination wrote, Vance is very involved in almost everything on campus. He's a member of many different business clubs, participates in case studies, and has been rewarded for his achievements with an offer to work for Google after graduation. Another said, Vance is engaging, no pun intended here, I'm going to get back to that. Vance is engaging and has done a variety of things during his time at Foster, including representing us at local, national, and the international level. He is a model student committed to his academics while simultaneously participating in a ton of extracurriculars. Another student wrote, you name it, he's done it. Not only has Vance accomplished an impressive amount during his years here, he's maintained a great attitude about it as well. He's someone to look up to and to relate with. A nomination said, because he's Vance Roush, natural leader, driven, personable, humorous, passionate, inspiring, and a great friend. And finally, one student wrote, Vance is one of the most involved students in the business school. He's president of the Business and Economic Development Center leadership team, a manager of Motley Consulting Group, and is involved with numerous nonprofits and volunteer activities. Everyone knows Vance and his enthusiasm and passion for life and all things business make him the ideal speaker for our graduating class. Well, I couldn't agree more with the statements I've just read. And lest I forget one monumental part of Vance's time here at Foster, I'm going to embarrass him. Would Kim Pham please stand up? Kim and Vance, congratulations on your engagement and your upcoming wedding. Now please join me in a warm welcome for a true leader and one of the shining stars of the 2011 Foster graduating class, Mr. Vance.
Man, it's getting personal up in here. First of all, I want to thank everybody that nominated me. That's the first time I've ever heard those comments, and that really humbles me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. You can change the world. I remember where it stemmed from and where my journey started 4 years ago. A high school graduate, excited to start college, so I can change the world. That's what my parents told me, my teachers, my pastors, my mentors, uncles, aunts. You can be whoever you want to be. I don't think that's an uncommon statement to hear for our generation or for this class specifically. Although to some, changing the world might be too big of a statement, I believe many of us sitting here today have taken this to heart and have already made strides to impact our community and world. I think it's safe to say that many here at Foster are pretty busy. The activities that take our time include case competitions, fall recruiting, company socials, Foster clubs, double optioning, and waiting in line in Orange Cafe. In Foster, I'm constantly surrounded by high-achieving, motivated, and ethically minded students. Maybe a little bit too motivated sometimes, as it's almost impossible to schedule any team meetings with business school students. It's that energy, though, that makes me so proud that we all have accomplished here. I'm continually impressed with the growing value of our business school because of the achievements of our student class, with the empowerment coming from our faculty and staff. I am floored when I reflect on the many opportunities we are privileged to have here. My speech is not going to be focused on the merit of Foster, though, rather the environment in which it has created for us here. A question I always ask the business leaders I am privileged to meet is there a formula for success? If so, what is it? So after asking that question for the past 4 years and collecting all the data, I finally derived a secret formula for success. I know everyone wants to be successful, so I have a 3-pronged approach on how to succeed. Just kidding, this is not a case competition. I'm not going to give you a short-term and long-term strategy, an implementation timeline, or even an NPV analysis. Sorry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a universal truth that I have found in my life. Life is more important than just your accomplishments. Life is more than just your resume, and life is even more important than your potential salary. One thing you must not overlook in this graduation season or take for granted is relationships. Given my platform today, that is the single most important thing I want to emphasize and that I want to thank Foster for. Our business school has created a unique opportunity that fosters great relationships, friendships, and mentorship. Don't misunderstand me, I'm not talking about networking. I'm not talking about firm handshakes, building rapport, and working the room. I'm talking about real, deep, and meaningful friendships and bonds that many of us share with each other. One thing I miss about K-12 schooling is that at the end of each year, you are given a yearbook. Something that might seem so trivial at the surface actually contains a profound and enlightening process. Encourage, reflect, and connect. When you take the time to trade your yearbook with your friends, you oftentimes write things to encourage and uplift the person. You are so nice. You are amazing. Then you typically reflect in words on your friend's yearbook. Remember the time when that class was it's so funny when the last couple sentences of your excerpt in your friend's yearbook is a genuine attempt to connect with that person in the near future. Have a bomb.com summer, call me. As high school as that might seem, I wouldn't be opposed to practice some of these principles in the next few days with all of you. So encourage. Thank you Andrew, Alan, and Karen for always being there for me since the very beginning. Thank you Kim, my fiance, for agreeing to marry me. Thank you my mom and dad and brother for instilling in me the principles and morals that you guys have instilled in me. Thank you to the Pam Laxons, the Jay Elliots, the Jennifer Kitchens, the Tom Bergströms that take that extra step for me. You guys are all phenomenal. Reflect. Mike Ferguson. Do you remember the time when we turned in our case competition PowerPoint literally 1 second before it was due? Chris Sawyer. Remember those classes when we would stay up until 3 a.m. in Bomber High, fill up all the whiteboards with our notes, and then take a 3-hour nap, and then take a 5-hour energy and proceed to take the test? Connect. For the rest of my foster friends, peers, faculty, and staff, who did you connect with this year? Who inspired you at Foster? Who was your community in the past 4 years? I encourage you to uplift them. I encourage you to reminisce with them, and all the while making sure in some way you can to keep that connection. I sincerely believe that relationships will be the most valuable thing you will take away from Foster. You are not put on this earth alone, so don't feel like you have to prosper alone. Foster peers continue to have a mindset about people and their value. I hear that us business students sometimes get a bad rap for being stereotyped as selfish, money-hungry, only caring about the bottom line type of individuals. But I think those people are wrong. I've interacted with the most compassionate, thoughtful, and caring individuals here at Foster. Students that think about others before themselves, students that serve their friends, their families, before they do themselves. In a generation always on the go, consuming mass amounts of fragmented information by the second, and being immersed with tools that increase our own vanity, such as Facebook and Twitter, I think now is timelier than ever to just chill for a second and to learn how to serve others. The greatest amongst you will be your servant. We can all be great because we can all serve with a heart full of grace and a soul full of compassion. That's what Martin Luther King said. There is no age limit, prerequisite, GMAT score, capstone, profit level, or case competition win necessary to serve and to continue to build meaningful relationships. I thank God, my parents, my family, friends, teachers, mentors, and all of you here for inspiring me. 4 years ago, I didn't know what was possible. Being a part of this community with the environment we have created here, centered on leadership, strategic thinking, and relationships, has allowed me to attain a healthy disrespect for the impossible. Thank you.
Thank you, Vance, and congratulations. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage members of